Hi folks, I'm Matteo Collina, Platformatic co-founder and CTO. How often have you messed up your environment variables when interconnecting multiple services, both locally or on the cloud? And how many times have you brought up a microservices environment locally and it was literally a daunting task because you needed to connect ports with environment variables of the other services and it was just a galactic mess? Well, luckily for you, we are solving this problem with Platformatic Runtime, and this is part of our Platformatic Papilio launch. Runtime allows you to execute multiple nano services within the same process, removing the need for complex routing and drastically increasing the developer experience while removing the need for a service mesh on the cloud at the same time. Seems a lot? Yes, but it's actually super simple. Let's jump into it. So we are in our Papilio launch folder and we just create a new folder where that's empty. And we can now create a new Platformatic project with which is a runtime. And we create in this folder, we want to load our services from a services folder. Come on, easy, that's easy. And now I already have everything installed, but you probably want to run npm install if you do it yourself. And we create the first service, which we are going to call it Composer, but you can see, and it's a composer. And it was put into port 3001. We want another service. You can see that we can, our generator actually suggests you some names. So, and in fact, we want to create this one as Languid Nobleman. And the Languid Nobleman is a service. And no, we're not using TypeScript 3002. On port 002, and yeah, create another one. And we also create the Somber Chariot, and this is now a DB, and we want to run the default migration. We store it on port 3003. Amazing. And let's apply the default migrations just to begin with. And we want the types. Yes, let's generate the types. And no, we don't want another service, and we want our entry point to be the composer. And we are currently not setting things up on the cloud, but we'll do another video for that. And let's take a look at what was generated for us. So we have a Platformatic runtime.json, which says what is our entry point. If the fact that it doesn't allow cycles in the services, we'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the video. And then if we have auto load enabled and a bunch of other stuff, and we want to load them from services. Check out the docs because there is actually, you can actually avoid the auto load and just specify the folder manually if you have a complex enough directory structure. So here we have our composer and our two services. So in our composer, like we did in the previous video, we want to just point it to the ID this time. So this time we want to just say, instead of putting the URL of and using environment variables to configure everything, we could just put, for example, the ID, which is Languid Nobleman, and the other one is the Somber Chariot. And yeah, that's it. And then here we want, in the Languid Nobleman, we want just to change this to hello. So it's a little bit more, it's a little simpler. Let's start this. As you can see, pretty normal stuff. And a bunch of stuff has happened. Cool. And you can see there's a lot of requests. Wow. And now we can actually open our OpenAPI docs here. And as you can see, this is exactly the same thing as we showed before. In the previous video with the composer, and we have our hello, and we have our movies, and so on. And yeah, it works exactly like things were running on multiple processes, but this time everything is being wired on the fly, and you can see things are being more or less checked all the time and monitored. Now, if this means that, for example, if we come here, and if we update this thing, the routes of one service, and we save this, we will have them being automatically updated in our composer. And of course, all these details about the OpenAPI stuff can be completely customized if you want to do so. which is pretty rad, right? So thank you for taking a look. I think this is, for me, the most exciting feature of the runtime. So, but let me know what you think and stay tuned. Bye.